Hi, I'm Elizabeth Hours, Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. I want to welcome you back to our September reboot. This is day 4, and I want to talk to you about setting goals. Now, I've found that setting goals can be a little bit intimidating, but I want to help you look at this in a new light. First of all, I've heard it said that goals are just dreams with a deadline. So keep that in mind. Now, I want you to look at your Plexus business as a journey that you've embarked on. So let's say that you've dreamed of going to California and you want to plan a trip there. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Let's compare our Plexus journey to that. Now, back in the year 2006, our family did just that. We traveled from the East Coast to the West Coast and back again. We were gone about 5.5 weeks, and it took a lot of planning. We planned our final destination, when we would get there, we planned when we would need to return, and then we planned stops all along the way. So that's exactly what this is. You're going to figure out your final destination, where you're trying to get to with Plexus, and then give yourself a deadline of when you'd like to be there. You want it to be realistic, of course, and you're going to need a plan that goes along with it of how you're going to get there with stops all along the way. So I know from being on a long trip like that you can't plan perfectly. Now, sometimes you may encounter traffic accidents or road construction, illness, or you may even just decide to do a little extra sightseeing in a city. So the stops that you planned along the way, they may not mesh out perfectly with your plans. You may decide to spend longer in one city, and so you'll get to the next destination a little bit longer than you planned, and you may even get to your final destination a little bit later than you planned, and you just adjust accordingly, right? That's how it works when we plan a long trip. So it's the same way with your Plexus journey. It's going to be a long trip. You're going to plan for some stops along the way with your ultimate destination in mind. And then if it takes a little longer to reach one of the stops along the way, you just push everything back a little bit. But you don't just quit and say, well, it took me longer than I thought it was going to get to San Antonio, so I'm just going to stop and turn around and go back home. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? And yet people do that with Plexus when they don't reach the next rank as quickly as they had hoped. Now, I'll just go ahead and let you in on a little secret. I've rarely reached the ranks I've wanted to as quickly as I had hoped, except for the first one. I made silver my first month. But after that, all my ranks have taken longer than I had hoped or had set as goals. But I've just regrouped and kept on going. So right now, I am a Ruby Ambassador. I had hoped to be Ruby by December of last year, but I did not reach that goal. However, I just reset that goal for April, and I made it. I was Ruby by the end of April. Then I hoped to be Senior Ruby by the end of July, and I've had a lot going on with my parents and moving them here, and I did not reach that goal. So I reset it for September, and I'm not sure I'm going to make that goal for September either, but I'm going to reset it for October, and I do hope to be Senior Ruby by October. And then my next goal is Emerald, and I hope to be Emerald at least by next July so that I can go on the Hawaii trip next year in September. So that's some of my stops along the way as I hope to eventually make it to Diamond with Plexus. So I just encourage you to figure out your destination and then plan some stops along the way. Plan when you'd like to reach each one of the ranks. Then you have to back up and figure out how you're going to get there. And you need an action plan that involves some daily activity and a good goal for each month. From the very beginning of your business, a great goal to have every month is to add 3 new customers and 3 new ambassadors, and to reach at least 500 PV, so you jump up from 15% commission to 25% commission. So that is a great monthly goal. And if you just keep that as your goal every month, you'll be amazed how quickly you'll reach all your stops along the way and you'll get to your final destination. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about the power of 3. But for now, I want you to start thinking about what your ultimate goal, what your ultimate destination is with Plexus, and then some shorter goals. And make some goals for yourself. And I encourage you to share some of your goals, any of your goals, in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you back tomorrow for the next assignment in our reboot.